This is the plaintiff, Edgar Moreno. He says he's known the plaintiff since he was born. And having to sue him in court today is quite upsetting for him, to say the least. The kid has a great ear for music, so he built a recording studio in his apartment and signed a recording contract with him. The defendant, however, is a lazy bum who stood him up for recording sessions, didn't treat him professionally, and he has no other choice but to sue him for $5,000, the money he invested in the defendant's career. This is the defendant, Daniel Molina. He says the plaintiff's job was to manage him, market and promote him, and to record his sessions. Unfortunately, all of his songs came out horribly. He wasted tons of money mismanaging them, and it was the plaintiff who always canceled sessions on him. Needless to say, this wasn't a marriage made in heaven. The guy has ruined his career, and if anyone's owed money, it's him. He's accused of letting the music die.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Mr. Moreno, you are suing Mr. Molina for $5,000. You say you're actually out $40,000.
That's correct.
As a result of his breach of contract. Tell me what's going on.
I know the defendant for all his life. His grandmother used to babysit us, and she's more like an aunt to me. He's a very talented young man, good ear for music, and I started a record label, and I hired him to be...
You started a record label?
A record label.
Okay, what's the name of the record label?
I was going to school for audio engineering.
What's the name of the record label?
Muscle Money Music.
Muscle Money Music. All right, and so what happened?
So he was hired.
Did you have other artists under your label or not yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. We was. Right. It's just all.
And what
from
was
the
his talents?
He produces, sings, writes music.
Okay, so go ahead.
And
Does he play anything?
Huh?
Does he play? Do you play anything?
Yes.
What do you play?
I play piano, guitar, drums, and any instrument you put in my hand, I'll try.
Okay.
He's very talented.
So go ahead.
I got to give him that.
How old are you?
24.
Okay, go ahead.
So in 2010, I started taking up audio engineering because I wanted to invest in becoming a record mogul and start my own.
Mogul. Very, very good. Get to mogul. You know that, right? Okay.
And start my own record label.
Right.
Him and his father knew about it. We went to lunch and breakfast.
Were you close to his father?
I'm sorry?
Were you close to his, were you close to his father?
We're past tense because of this situation.
Right.
Which,
so were you close?
Yes, we were close.
Okay.
Very close. His grandmother used to babysit me.
Right.
We call her an aunt. She's a very, big influence in our family.
Okay.
And so, I know the young man since he was born.
So you enter into some contracts with him. Specifically, there's 3 contracts, right?
Correct.
And what goes wrong?
A week or 2 later, he comes in. We spoke about he's going to start coming in Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 to 6 to produce his music, because prior to that, he told me his Mac computer broke. So he doesn't have anything to work with. So, of course, I wound up purchasing a lot of stuff so that, so he could work with it at home in my apartment for him to produce. He would never come in. He tells me that the money, that he doesn't have the money, that he didn't, that the checks didn't,
What checks?
I gave him 3 checks once he signed, one for $500.
That they hadn't cleared?
And that they hadn't cleared.
And he didn't have the money for what, transportation?
To travel from his house to mine.
Which was from where to where?
From Brooklyn to Queens.
Okay, go on.
And I was surprised that he wasn't showing up. So I checked my bank account and it did clear. So I didn't understand where he was coming from. So I spoke to his dad. His dad was upset and surprised that he had signed the contracts.
Wait, when did you speak to his dad?
Sometimes in the middle, like
but why did you speak to his dad?
Because I was wondering why he wasn't showing up.
And so you tell his dad, hey, your son has a contract with me?
His father knew I had a contract with him.
How did his father know?
Because, like I said, prior to me signing contracts with him, we would go out to eat and sit down.
Did you discuss it with him?
Yeah.
All right, so his father was mad. But then what was his father mad about if he knew? That doesn't make sense what you just said.
He was mad because he didn't tell him about the money that he received.
Which is what?
$1,000.
Okay, so the only advance you ever gave him was $1,000.
That's correct.
All right, so he tells you, I can't make it because your checks haven't cleared. You check the bank, the checks have cleared. And then what happens?
Week later, everything was hashed out, and he started coming in, and we started working.
Okay.
And then in May, he started again, not showing up. And I knew I had surgery. I have my own problems to deal with physically because I'm battling cancer.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing better.
Hope so too. I'm still working on it. So I said to him, I says, look, I'm not gonna sweat this. I got surgery in June. I says, you got to August 31st to get your records done because we only have 12 months to get the records done. And
Why do you only have 12 months?
that's what's on
Okay, go on.
the contract. So he didn't come in, and I, kept going back and forth, text messages, and he's very rude and arrogant when he talks. He's young, and the way he talked to me was, I was like, look, I want my money back, and let's leave it at that. He's like, you get your money when you get it. I'm like,
What's going on here?
Most of the stuff he's saying isn't true. My father had no idea that I signed the contract. I wanted to do something on my own, by myself. So before I signed the contract, nothing was said to my father. It was strictly between me and Mr. Moreno. After the fact, my father found out. He told me that I made a mistake because he knows Mr. Moreno, and he knows that sometimes he can be very arrogant and he can have an attitude problem and he can be very strict. As he said, I did pretty much was raised knowing him as my uncle. So he was always the music guy. So I never had anybody in my family who was into music like that. And, so eventually when Mr. Moreno started getting money and he opened up his record label, I saw it as an opportunity. So I went behind my father's back trying to impress him because I wanted to show him that I can do stuff on my own.
How'd that work out?
He was upset. He was
Okay.
pretty upset, but we got over it. We spoke about it.
Where did you make your money to invest in the company? Like, if you don't mind my asking.
I had a windfall. I had over $1 million in the bank.
But through a settlement of some kind?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have your record label now?
Yes.
And have you signed any artists?
No, I just we had my last surgery back in March
Okay.
of 2013, and
This stuff happened in 2011.
That's correct.
How long did you guys work together?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half? A year and a half?
That's correct.
So go on.
He says that I didn't do anything. I had
What did you do in a year and a half?
In a year and a half, I actually produced over 11 songs. I wrote lyrics, and I have the lyrics here. I sent him the lyrics through email because he wanted a copy of all the lyrics of the songs that I worked on. Unfortunately, I only have one of the songs that he mixed down that was supposed to be a hit single called Insomnia, and the mix was bad.
His part of the job.
His part of the job was bad.
How did you guys finally break up?
We broke up because from time to time, I wouldn't be able to get there for certain reasons, and he would tell me sometimes, like when I would arrive all the way to Queens from Brooklyn early in the morning, he would tell me, oh, today's a no-go, I'm not feeling too well, so you would have to go back home. So I'm waiting at the bus stop, and I have to go all the way back to Brooklyn. And he would do this numerous amount of times. And I would only find out that maybe a week later, that day he wasn't feeling well, he actually had a girlfriend over. And he would tell me this himself. So I'm like, in my head, okay, you tell me not to come in because you're not feeling well, but then I find out you got a girl over. So that made me feel like, now I'm wasting my time. So
Who broke up with who?
he did with me.
And what reason did he give you for breaking up with you?
Well, at the time, I was going there straight for about 2 months. And I asked him for some time. I asked him for the weekend. And he was like, all right, no problem. That's the same night that I texted him, he texted me back. And he was like, you make me look like a fool amongst my peers. You never want to do anything. You're lazy. You're not hardworking. I think I made a mistake. I'll see you in court. Good luck to you. And that was a really big shock to me. And that was an even bigger shock to my father because they were so close together.
Tell me about that text.
Actually, he was having problems with his girlfriend, and he was distracted by his girlfriend and the issues that he was having personally, and so he wasn't showing up.
How long did he not show up for?
There were days he wouldn't come for weeks. He would come. I have a list of the days that he came. that he created something, and which is half of. He says he completed music. There was no music completed. He's talking about the mixdown. Well, the mixdown is only a draft. It's not the actual thing, because once everything is done and completed, then I can go into a regular studio where it's nice and isolated for me to do the mixdown and the mastering.
I don't understand. What else did he need to do on the numbers that he did complete?
He only completed 4 songs.
And how many songs do you say you completed?
At least 11.
Name them.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you do business with a close family member, a close friend or a family member?
Yes.
Dangerous.
Why do you say that?
I ask the questions.
Okay.
No, I say it because it could ruin the relationship.
Well, I understand, but I mean, if you run your business with integrity and your
But
family.
the problem is the other person may not, right? But you look like Halle Berry. What do you think?
I think it would depend, but I probably say no first. But if you really know that person well, and we can be a good partner together, so maybe.
Go with your first instinct, I'm telling you. What do you think?
Actually, it depends on the person. If you know them well enough to trust them, and if you think they're good people, then you can do business.
Thing is, you don't necessarily know them well enough to trust them until you do business with them, and then it's too late, right? Going inside the courtroom.
I have them here written down on the lyrics.
No, that's not completed. You wrote the lyrics for 11 songs.
Right.
Your part of it is to do what?
12 songs.
Okay. How many of your part did you do?
All of them.
You wrote all 12 songs,
Right.
the lyrics, the music, and produced it, and handed it to him for him to what?
So he can finish the product.
By doing what? What's that part of the job called?
His job was to do audio engineering, which is to mix it properly to get it right.
According to you, you handed him all 12 songs.
Right. Everything was done on his house, in his studio equipment.
Okay, and according to you, that's just not true.
No, he
Okay,
did.
name the songs.
There was a song called Insomnia. There was Be With You, Shorty Girl. I don't remember the other names.
Go ahead and look. Oh, do these ring a bell?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
In Puerto Rico, we call that puchi pluma no mao, meaning he's all talk but no action.
Okay.
He did write a whole bunch of songs while I was in the hospital, and he sends it to me in an email, and then he wrote a bunch of other tracks, but they never correlated with one another. So my part is to record it.
What do you mean that they never correlated? You didn't like it, or he never put them together?
He never put them together.
Okay,
He writes
is that
tracks.
accurate?
He
No, it's
made
not
tracks.
accurate.
So just hand me where 12 of them are put together. Let me see that. Shouldn't you be looking in the computer
I
instead
wasn't
of
able
paper?
to finish all of them because I stopped going to the studio.
You didn't finish all of them. Why do I have to prod you to finally get the correct answer out of you?
I couldn't accomplish the 12 because of the disagreement that we had.
Okay, well then why lie? Why did you tell me that you finished all 12 and handed it to him and everything was in his hands?
I didn't say all 12.
Yes, you did. First you said 11. Then when I asked you again, you said everything. I finished everything. Then now that I keep going and I'm going to make you show them to me, now you're telling me no. How many did you actually finish?
I'll show you.
Is it 4 like he says?
2.
Why can't you answer that question without looking at paperwork? You know how many you finished.
I really don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Is it 4?
It's 4.
Yeah. All right. So
It's definitely
then
not
when he
4.
tells you, I don't want to work with you anymore, you're lazy, it's been long enough, you should have been more industrious, you don't really want this is just something you're dabbling in, this is my business and you're not working for me, just give me back the $1,000 and we'll call it a day. What is your answer to that?
His answer that he said was accurate. I did get upset and I said, you get it when you get it, because I did not have the money. So I didn't mean it in disrespect. I meant it as soon as I have the money, you'll get the money.
Right. And so before this ended up in court, did you ever pay him anything?
No.
Okay. How do you figure that he cost you 40 grand?
I wanted to make sure that my business is legit. The music industry is a very shiesty industry, and I don't want to look like somebody that's,
Right, but how is he responsible for you not having any other clients because of your illness or whatever else?
Because in 12 months, we're supposed to have the record done.
Yeah, I understand that, but
and
you know
he
what a
didn't-
record label is. A record label doesn't have just one client. I mean,
Well, I just started.
well, I understand,
Right.
but you want him to fund your start. And
No, I already had the money for the start. I did it myself.
Yeah, but you're saying to me, Judge, he's responsible for me losing 40 grand when that's really the investment that you made in your own business.
Well, I had the equipment. I even went out and purchased a studio, because the thing is, he wasn't showing up to anything. And for me to rent out a studio could cost me from $200 to $2,000 a day, $200 an hour to about $2,000 a day.
So why did it take a year and a half for you to jettison him? You just kept thinking
He
he'd
wasn't
kick
showing
in?
up. He
I
just
know,
wasn't-
but if he wasn't showing up the whole time, according to you, then why? I'm curious why you didn't say, I'm not working with you sooner. I'm just curious.
Because I already invested a lot of money into it.
I mean, the real dispute is that you have a contract that says you're going to produce something within 12 months, and it wasn't. And so what he originally wanted was, look, just pay me back my investment of $1,000. And, then you got a little snippy with him. And now he wants $5,000 because it's the statutory max in your state and small claims. But he says he's out $40,000.
Well, that
You know what I think? If you're supposed to do something in 12 months and you don't do it, then really, I don't see a reason why you shouldn't pay him back the $1,000.
right.
Because it's not as though, he didn't finally say I've had enough until a year and a half later. I order the defendant. I'm sorry that it didn't work out between you guys. I'm even sorrier that a familiar relationship of so many years is now incredibly awkward and over this attempt at business between the two of you. I don't know, it's always rough when you mix business with family.
Definitely.
But I totally understand why in an industry like this, that would be the person who you'd trust and and the person who you saw flower would be the person you'd want as your artist, but it didn't work out. And I order you to return the $1,000, and we're leaving it at that. Good luck to both of you.
Well, your first foray into the professional music world lands you in court. What's your reaction to all this?
I figured because Mr. Moreno and I were part of family, he would look after me. And
What's your relationship with him like now?
Now there is none.
Isn't that kind of sad after he's known you your whole life?
It is. It's very sad.
And so what's the state of your career right now?
I'm just going to keep pushing after my dreams, and I'm going to go to school and attempt to continue doing my music production.
All right. Good luck to you right around this way. And so, Mr. Moreno, you come on out here as the winner of this case. Not everything you sued for, though.
No. Unfortunately, I kind of stumbled on the expenses that I incurred. I should have told her that it cost me $5,500 alone just to draw up the contracts.
What about doing business with your family?
Lesson learned. Never do it again. A good friend of mine said to me, gentlemen shake hands, businessmen sign contracts. It was a business deal. He signed a contract. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
All right, let's go to Harvey in the street.
I got to say, it's not that there's a cardinal rule that you shouldn't do it, but it is risky business to start doing business with family members, because when things go wrong, that's when blame starts hurling back and forth. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.